Hey there! Welcome to this channel. Are you ready to relax and fall asleep? Let me tell you a little story to help you drift off peacefully. In the grand annals of Chinese history, emperors rise and fall. Dynasties shift like sand, and countless names are etched into stone. Yet, some of the most poignant stories are not those of rulers, but of those who stood beside them, loved them, and were forgotten by history. This is the story of Han Zhigao, a beautiful young man, a royal favorite, a loyal servant, and perhaps China's earliest recorded same-sex love story. Han Zhigao was born during the Northern Qi dynasty around the 6th century. His early life was marked by hardship. Orphaned at a young age, he reportedly lived as a beggar, surviving on the streets. But his fortunes changed dramatically when he met Chunti Emperor. According to historical records, Han Zhigao was strikingly handsome, graceful in demeanor, and possessed a gentle voice. His beauty and humility caught the attention of the Chunwen Emperor, and he was brought into the palace not as a servant, but as a companion. He was renamed Han Zhigao, meaning cool and elegant guest of honor. From that moment on, his life would be intimately tied to the emperor's, for better or worse. The Northern Qi dynasty was a turbulent time in Chinese history. The Chunwen Emperor, despite his fondness for Han Zhigao, was often criticized for his lack of focus on ruling. He enjoyed hunting, women, and pleasures of the flesh, but neglected the affairs of state. This led to rebellions, weakening his hold on the throne. Han Zhigao did not participate in politics, but his mere presence at the emperor's side symbolized extraordinary favor. He was a constant reminder of the emperor's eccentric choices, and potentially became a target of resentment from officials and family members who disagreed with the emperor's preferences. Zhigao was more than just a favorite court attendant. He was deeply trusted, often appearing at the Chunwen Emperor's side in public, a symbol of extraordinary favor. In a time when same-sex relationships were not criminalized, but not celebrated either, their bond was unusual, perhaps even scandalous. Others envied, but Emperor was undeterred. He loved Han Zhigao openly and elevated him far beyond his status. By the time Han Zhigao entered the picture, Emperor Zheng had already been married multiple times. However, none of his unions produced an heir. With the dynasty's future uncertain, many urged the emperor to take a concubine who could bear him a child. Despite the pressure, Emperor Chunwen chose to remain devoted to Han Zhigao. This unwavering commitment, unusual for the time period, points towards a profound bond between the two men. Their romance wasn't just about love. It was about defiance. It was a silent rebellion against societal norms and expectations. In a world where the emperor's every decision had political ramifications, their love story unfolded discreetly behind palace walls. It was a private rebellion, a quiet resistance to a society that demanded certain alliances and discouraged unconventional love. This hidden romance thrived in secrecy, shielded by the emperor's power and Han Zhigao's quiet dignity. Their love defied the expectations of an era, offering a glimpse of intimacy in a world of rigid protocol. As history tells us, the Northern Qi dynasty, despite its colorful personalities, rebellions continued to simmer, and the once favored Han Zhigao started facing the repercussions of being too close to the sun. Power breeds jealousy, and love in politics is often fatal. In 559, a pivotal moment arrived when Emperor Chun Wen fell gravely ill. The imperial succession was in question, and this was a turning point for Han Zi. The usual rules of the imperial court were thrown into question. Who would care for the emperor now? Who would inherit the throne? And what role would Han Ziga play in this transition? These were critical questions with no easy answers. Emperor Shenwan's illness created a power vacuum that drew in ambitious relatives, each wanting a piece of the crumbling empire. In this web of intrigue, Han Zigal found himself at a crossroads. His loyalty to the emperor was tested as never before. It was a time to choose sides, to chart a path through treacherous waters. Did he stand firm with the ailing emperor, risking everything? Did he align himself with a potential heir, securing a future for himself? Or did he make a power play of his own, seizing an opportunity in the midst of chaos? History doesn't reveal his internal conflict, leaving us to wonder about the thoughts that raced through his mind. Perhaps fear, perhaps resolve. Perhaps he felt the weight of his choices, knowing they could alter his destiny and that of the empire. The inner workings of the imperial court were a battleground of ambition and deception. Alliances shifted like desert sands, and every move carried significant weight. Was Han Ziga drawn into this power struggle? Or did he stay true to his role as a devoted companion? Did he attempt to mediate between warring factions, seeking a peaceful resolution? Or did he remain aloof, focusing solely on the emperor's well-being? We can only speculate, imagining his elegant form amidst the chaos, trying to restore order or quietly slipping away as the court dissolved into discord. However, history remembers Han Zigao primarily for his unwavering commitment to Emperor Chun Wen in the final moments of the Northern Qi dynasty. As the Sui army closed in, Han Zigao did not flee. Instead, he stayed by the emperor's side, sharing whatever little food they had, demonstrating remarkable loyalty until the very end. When the emperor was forced to leave the city, Han Zigao accompanied him into exile. He did not abandon his post, nor did he try to negotiate for his own safety. He walked alongside the disgraced emperor, a testament to their unique bond. This was no ordinary companionship. It was a bond forged in shared experiences, unspoken understanding, and deep affection. It was a bond that transcended the trappings of power and the constraints of societal norms. As the Northern Qi dynasty crumbled, Han Zigao and Emperor Chun Wen sought refuge in the mountains near the Yellow River. Yet even in exile, the shadow of the past loomed large. The remnants of the imperial court, once symbols of grandeur, were now mere fragments of their former selves. Han Zigao, stripped of the luxuries he once enjoyed, was confronted with a stark reality. His future, once intertwined with the prosperity of the empire, was now uncertain. How did he navigate this new landscape? Did he rely on his wits, drawing upon hidden reserves of strength and resilience? Or did he cling to memories of the past, finding solace in nostalgia? We can only imagine the internal turmoil, the blend of resignation, determination, and perhaps despair that filled his heart. Tragedy struck when Emperor Chun Wen, in a moment of desperation, attempted to disguise himself as a commoner, hoping to escape the pursuing Sui troops. This desperate act sealed their fate. Soon, Emperor Chun Wen was captured and taken to the Sui capital of Daxi. Han Zigao, bound by duty and love, chose to accompany him. This wasn't a journey of hope or a strategy of escape. It was a march toward the inevitable. It was a quiet walk into the jaws of fate. What transpired next is a tale of heartbreak. According to some accounts, Emperor Chen was offered a noble death by the Sui Emperor Wen, an opportunity to end his life gracefully. Han Sigao, ever devoted, refused this offer, choosing to die alongside his emperor. Other accounts suggest that Emperor Chen, in a moment of weakness or anger, accused Han Sigao of abandoning him, unaware that Han Sigao had been captured along with him. Whether this accusation was real or imagined, it highlights the fragility of human relationships under extreme duress. In the face of imminent demise, even the strongest bonds can fray, revealing the raw nerves of fear and desperation beneath. It is said that Han Sigao spent his last moments composing poetry, finding solace in art as he awaited his fate. When they reached Daxing, Han Sigao was given an option to plead for mercy before the emperor, possibly to secure a noble death or even a noble title. However, he chose not to. Instead, he remained by the emperor's side, refusing to betray the dignity of the fallen monarch. His silence was a resounding declaration of love and loyalty, echoing the depth of his devotion. The exact date of their deaths remains a mystery, lost to the sands of time, but their legacy lives on in the whispers of history and the hearts of those who seek stories of love and loyalty. Han Sigao and Emperor Chen, two souls bound together by an extraordinary love story in a time when such love was not just rare, but also frowned upon. They dared to love openly, offering a glimpse of humanity amidst the coldness of imperial politics. Today, Han Sigao is rarely mentioned in Chinese classrooms. His story is buried in footnotes, if acknowledged at all. Yet, for many historians, artists, and LGBTQ advocates, he represents one of the earliest examples of queer love in East Asian royal history. In a time where love was expected to be political or reproductive, their relationship, flawed as it may have been, was human. Some modern plays, novels, and even short films have revived interest in Han Sigao, portraying him not just as a pretty face, but as a symbol of quiet resistance, the kind that doesn't wave flags, but whispers truths. Perhaps he wasn't a revolutionary. Perhaps he was just a boy in love who stayed loyal to someone in power when the whole world turned its back. History often forgets those who didn't conquer, who didn't write the laws or led armies. But sometimes it is these quiet stories of devotion, vulnerability, and sacrifice that stay with us the longest. Han Sigao lived in the shadows of empire, but loved boldly in a world that offered him very little, and for that he deserves to be remembered. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, share it, and let the past speak a little louder today.